Imagine being laughed at every time you try to speak in front of your whole class. That was Mira, a 16-year-old girl from a tiny village who couldn't even finish a sentence in English without freezing. But what if I told you she not only learned to speak confidently, she now teaches others and dreams of inspiring millions? Stay with me, because her journey will show you that your English doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs courage. Let's see how Mira did the impossible. Mira was 16 years old, and she lived in a small, quiet village surrounded by fields and simple homes. Her world was small, but her dreams were big. More than anything else, she loved the English language. She watched English videos on her old phone, listened to English songs while doing chores, and imagined a day when she would speak confidently, without fear, without hesitation. But reality was different. Whenever she tried to speak in English, people laughed. Her classmates made fun of her accent. Some even imitated her, turning her efforts into a joke. At first, she tried to ignore them. But day after day, their comments cut deeper. Slowly, the laughter stole the confidence she had. She began to avoid speaking. She avoided reading aloud. She avoided everything that made her feel small. Then one day, something happened that changed her life. During a school event, Mira was supposed to say a short English sentence on stage. It was only a few words, something she had practiced dozens of times. But when she stood in front of the crowd, fear wrapped around her like a tight rope. Her mouth wouldn't open. Her hands shook. Her mind went blank. Not a single word came out. The hall went silent. Then came the whispers, the giggles, the looks. Her heart broke. The humiliation she felt that day was heavier than all the laughter she had heard before. When she went home, she cried quietly in her room. She felt embarrassed, weak, and defeated. But somewhere in the middle of her tears, something powerful rose inside her, determination. That night, she looked at herself in the mirror with swollen eyes and said, "I will learn English. No matter how long it takes. I will learn." It was a promise, not to her classmates, not to the world, but to herself. Mira started her journey with almost nothing. She had an old phone with a cracked screen. She had cheap earphones that only worked in one ear. And she had a small notebook, one that she had used for school, now turned into her English notebook. But she didn't let the lack of resources stop her. She decided to use what she had. Every morning at 5 a.m., while her village slept and the world outside was silent, she woke up to practice. She played English videos softly, so no one would hear and laugh. She repeated sentences again and again until they sounded clearer. She learned new words from English songs, writing them in her notebook and practicing them out loud. Mira spoke in front of the mirror every day. At first, she felt silly talking to her own reflection. Sometimes her voice cracked. Sometimes she mispronounced words. Sometimes she got so frustrated that tears rolled down her cheeks. But she did not quit. She recorded her voice on her phone so she could hear her mistakes. The first recordings shocked her. Her pronunciation was shaky. Her sentences were unclear. But instead of giving up, she used the recordings as motivation. Every small improvement pushed her forward. Day by day, step by step, mistake by mistake, she grew. Her English was far from perfect, but it was improving. Her confidence was still fragile, but it was returning. After months of practicing alone, Mira finally gathered the courage to join a free online English-speaking group. She sat on her bed with her phone in her hand, her heart beating fast. Her palms were sweaty. Her voice trembled from nervousness. She expected the same reaction she got at school: laughter, teasing, judgment. But something surprising happened. When she spoke, even though her sentences were simple and her voice shaky, the people in the group didn't laugh. Instead, they encouraged her. "You're doing great. Keep going. You're improving." No one made fun of her accent. No one judged her mistakes. For the first time in her life, Mira felt what it was like to be supported while learning. That online group became a safe place for her. She practiced speaking with them every week, and slowly, her fear began to disappear. As months passed, her English grew smoother. Her words came out more confidently. She made fewer mistakes. Her voice no longer trembled the way it did before. She started to believe she could truly speak English well. Then one day, something happened that would test everything she had learned. Her teacher asked her to speak on stage again. Mira felt a small fear inside her. Memories of the day she had frozen came rushing back. But this time, she was not the same girl. She had practiced for months. She had built herself again from zero. She took a deep breath and agreed. When the day came, she walked forward calmly with steady steps. Her hands were not shaking. Her voice did not tremble. She looked at the audience, took another deep breath, and began speaking. And she spoke beautifully. Her accent was smooth. Her sentences were clear. Her voice was strong. The same class that once laughed at her now sat silent, completely silent. Some students looked shocked. Others looked impressed. A few even smiled with admiration. Mira finished her speech with confidence and walked off the stage with pride. That moment stayed in her heart forever. Today, Mira is no longer the shy girl who froze on stage. She teaches English to younger students in her village. She helps them learn the way she learned, slowly, patiently, with courage. She motivates them and tells them stories from her own journey to give them hope. She also dreams of inspiring millions of people online someday. She wants to create videos, teach others, and show the world that anyone can improve their English, no matter where they come from or how little they have. Whenever someone tells her, "My English is bad," Mira smiles gently and says, "Your English isn't bad. It's just unfinished." Because she learned something very important. English is not about perfection. It is about effort. It is about courage. It is about beginning, even when you are afraid. She learned that confidence is built through practice, not born out of talent. She learned that criticism can crush you only if you let it. And most importantly, she learned that improvement is possible for anyone who decides to try. If a girl from a small village, with no resources, no guidance, and constant criticism, can grow into a confident speaker, then so can you. Your English doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to sound like a native speaker. It only needs your courage to start. And maybe today, right now, is your moment to take that first step. I hope this story touched your heart. Life is full of moments that teach, heal, and transform us, and sharing them keeps the light of inspiration alive. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need a little hope today, and subscribe for more heartwarming stories. Until we meet again, keep believing, keep smiling, and take care of your beautiful soul.